Hi, Tammy here with this week's takeaway. And you might notice that I'm not in my trailer. That's because my trailer is a big disaster right now. I had to take out the couch, I had to stack everything on the side where I'm normally sitting by my desk and all that. So I'm in here instead. The reason that I had to do that to my trailer is because yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was out there, working and sitting at my desk, and I saw a carpenter ant, and he was crawling down the wall. And I thought, oh, hopefully he's the only one, right? But I have those little sonar, or is it sonic thing, pest thing that you just plug into the wall, and it's supposed to make this sound that I can't hear, but little creatures like carpenter ants are supposed to be able to hear it, and it drives them crazy, so they wouldn't have anything to do with it. So I thought, well, why is this carpenter ant in here if that thing is working? So I went to go look at it, and it had been turned off accidentally. So that's why it wasn't working. But when I went to check on it, I saw there were more ants on the floor right by this thing, right, mocking me, right? And I'm like, oh no. So then I'm like searching around, and I look under the couch, and there's more underneath the couch, and I'm like, oh crud, right? So I had to get that couch. It takes up the whole width of the of the trailer, so it's pretty awkward to deal with and everything. But so I had to take my bookshelves out, get all of my books, my art supplies and everything out of the way. This is why I'm in here. So I had to shove all that onto my desk, and then work with this couch to get it up over the top of those wheel wells. And so it's got two legs up on the wheel wells, and then the other side. So then I'm having to do the crawl under this this underpass, right, to get to the other side to deal with those ants. So I sprayed and everything, and then left it. And then this morning I went back out there, and little carcasses around, and then I saw some places where I needed to caulk, so I caulked to make sure that they're not getting in any of those places, and swept out the little bodies, and made sure that my little pest thing is working again. That now I just really have to be conscious about that I don't accidentally turn it off. That they put the button right where, when you like if you take it out or plug it in, your finger ends up right on the button that turns it off or on, which is poor design, I guess, or whatever. But now I'm aware of that, and I just have to always check and make sure that it's actually on and not off. Anyways, so here's the thing with these ants, right, is that I could have just ignored it, right? Tossed the one that I saw, got rid of the ones that were there, not looked under the couch, or at least not done anything about it. But that would be disastrous, right? That would just be terrible to not deal with it, to not do anything about it. They would just eat my trailer up. It'd be so awful. I had an experience with another trailer with that, so I know what I'm talking about there. Anyway, so I was thinking about that, like the things that are in our lives, whether they're little things like even tiny things like carpenter ants, or if they're really big things that are going on in our lives that sometimes maybe we just ignore, or we don't know what to do about it, so we do nothing about it. Those kinds of things, right? And so with the carpenter ants, I was thinking about King Hezekiah. You may know about him. He was king of Judah. And this is, after David, after Solomon. This is later. This is close to the end before they end up going into exile. But anyway, so King Hezekiah, he's a decent king. He wasn't perfect. And I really like that about the Bible, that it doesn't make anybody into superheroes except for Jesus, right? Everybody else, they've all got their things, right? We get to see their good parts, but we also get to see some of the not so good stuff that they do, which I really appreciate, because I'm one of those humans, right? I got some okay stuff, and I have some not so okay stuff that I'm working on. That's King Hezekiah. He had some good stuff and some not so great stuff. But this is one of the good ones, and this is what I love this. So this is I've got my Bible right here, my big old Bible. This is 2 Kings chapter 19. You can also read about him in Chronicles. I think he's 2 Chronicles 31 and 32, right in that area. You can read more about it. It just has different details, so I kind of like to read both. But Hezekiah had a problem, right? The Assyrians had been just running rampant through the land, and they'd been taking all the other kingdoms and cities and all that and just annihilating them, right? And now the king of Assyria was coming right into, he wanted to take Judah. He wanted to take what they had, and here Hezekiah is the king. So the king of Assyria sent a letter. Actually, was it the king? Yeah, it was the king. The king of Assyria sent a letter to King Hezekiah from a messenger and saying, here's the message to give to your king. And he goes on and on about how we've been wiping out all these other people and you can't stand against us, and you think your God's going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. You know, you're ours. We're taking you down, kind of thing, right? And so Hezekiah gets this letter, and he reads the letter. And so I'm just going to read you this right now. Okay, so this is what Hezekiah does about it. So there's 2 Kings 19, starting at the verse 14. Hezekiah received the letter from the messengers and read it. Then he went up to the temple of the Lord, and he spread it out before the Lord. Don't you love that? He just took that letter and he just spread it out in the temple. And Hezekiah prayed to the Lord. O Lord God of Israel, enthroned between the cherubim, you alone are God over all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth. Give ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see. Listen to the words of Sennacherib. Listen to the words Sennacherib has sent to insult the living God. And then he goes on and he's talking about what this bold, rash king of Assyria is saying about our God, right? And saying, so, to him, but you are our help. You will take care of us. And so God does, right? And it's just cool because I just love that no matter what you're dealing with, what I'm dealing with, whether it's tiny carpenter ants or if it's a big thing like an invasion of another country or whatever, right? That we need to face the thing, whatever it is. We need to look at it squarely, the truth of it, which you see Hezekiah does. He didn't ignore that letter. He didn't pretend like it didn't happen and just let whatever happens happen, right? He took it to the Lord. And so no matter what you're dealing with and what I'm dealing with, we take it to the Lord first. And he helps us and he shows us what to do, and he's with us through the thing, right? Because, I mean, Carpenter Ants, it's just life, right? There's just always stuff going on, whether it's that or it's something else. The car needs work. You know how it is. It's just life, right? Life has lots of little, just, irritants, problems, big problems, little problems, all of it. God just wants us to bring it to him, and he wants us to know that he's with us going through whatever it is. He'll be with us. He'll give us wisdom. He will direct us, guide us, and help us through it, right? Not necessarily making it all just go away, right? We don't just close our eyes and, like with these carpenter ants, they're not just going to go away on their own. They would own that thing if I let them, right? But I know God's with me and he's going to help me even with carpenter ants, right? Even the little thing like that, he cares about. And I love that he cares about us so deeply and intimately. He knows everything about you. He knows how many hairs you have on your head right this second. And that's amazing, right? Because we don't even know that about ourselves. He knows us so deeply and completely. So I hope that you have a great week. I hope that this is an encouragement to you. And if you want to read it, I'll just let you know again. It's 2 Kings 19 is where that story about Hezekiah is. And then there's also, you can read it, more of Hezekiah's life and all that in 2 Chronicles in the 30s there. I don't know if he starts in 30, but 31, 32, right in that area. Okay. Hope you have a great week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye.